Hello again, back up in the hills, one of my favorite places. A bunch of things to share with you. Today we'll be shooting a 350 Legend cartridge in the Ruger model 77. It says Ruger Gunsight Scout. This is one of the most successful models that they've come out with. You probably know it. Of course, removable magazine. I'll talk about the sight in a moment. Picatinny rail, aperture sight back here. This would accommodate a scout mount, which is a great optic, a forward mounted scope. And it's even got a muzzle brake. I didn't change anything. You can see I just took it out of the box. And the 350 Legend is just one of those calibers, one of those cartridges that you just naturally hit with, or at least that's how it is for me. Anyhow, I wanted to tell you, when I first had a look at the 350 Legend, you'll see, some of you may have the same thought that I did. That's the cartridge. So this kind of cone-shaped bullet is unique, there's no doubt about it, but it's a 35 caliber. You know, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. It's one of the straight wall cartridges that some states require. Has to be one of my favorite cartridges by now. I've owned a couple of different rifles in the 350 Legend, and especially within 200 yards, it's all one really needs, just marvelous. Anyway, getting back to what I noticed, so that's the 350 Legend. And then I went into my gun vault. I have a little vault with Winchester rifles from back in the day, and one of them is a 351 self-loading. I also have a 35 self-loading and a 401, which we'll make a video of one of these days. Anyway, this is the 351 self-loading. I just have the ammo in a little, I don't know, plastic thing from the dollar store, and this is the magazine. I thought I'd put it in the magazine for you to see. So this is from the 1930s. Excellent magazine, by the way. And oh, you can see, I don't know if we can focus in on 351 caliber, but the self-loading. Anyway, if life isn't a circle, that's the 351 self-loading, and this is the 350 Legend. Now the Legend is slightly longer, there's no doubt about it, but I mean, they're both rimless, semi-automatic, 35 caliber cartridges. The 351 was essentially a blowback operated center fire, so there were some problems with the counterweight. I still like it though. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you how similar, if you drop it in here, of course this brass is shiny, but aside from that, very similar. I even tried to fire a 351, but I knew it wouldn't work because, well, various reasons, but you never know, so yeah, it didn't work. Anyhow, 350 Legend, and I promised to talk about this optic. So, you know how many guns we're testing, and I have that scope mount that I kind of cobbled together myself just to quickly put scopes on and off guns. Then I thought I'm going to try a red dot sight. And I noticed one of my friends, Pat, he put a red dot sight on his, I don't know whether it was a Krieghoff double rifle or a Heim maybe. And at first I thought it's an odd thing to do for an African rifle, but there's a lot of sense to it. Anyhow, this company, Aimwin, I put this on this scout rifle. They call this one, they actually talk about it like it's an enclosed pistol sight. Of course, this isn't a pistol, but seems to not know that it's not a pistol, so there's that one. And then they make a open reflex sight. Anyhow, these optics make shooting more or less effortless. Took a couple of shots to get on target. Those of you that know red dots, I mean, this is old technology, but you'll know what I'm talking about. And on a rifle like this, where there's almost no recoil, it's nice to be able to just instinctively shoot. And You know, most of the time I'm not thinking about grouping and so on, just because in places like this, there really isn't a situation where grouping matters in a way. But we've got a removable mag, like I said. I just popped 2 rounds in there. The Ruger's very easy to operate, and I've never had a problem with the Ruger 77. So what I'll do is I'll just depress this round. The bolt will skate over the round in the mag. So we would be ready to go there. And we've got our target, which we painted orange, but I got carried away shooting, so there's a lot of paint missing. That was all with this 350 Legend in the Gunsight Scout. So let's take a couple of shots. I'm being reminded to put my glasses on, so that's a good reminder. There we go. That's a lot better. All right. So you could see ejection is excellent. One thing I liked about the Ruger, all of them that I've owned, they tend to put the cartridge casings in the same spot, so it's easy to collect them. Maybe it's something about how I work the bolt, I don't know. Third one's a miss on a swinging target. We'll reload and shoot some more. And every time I take the rifle down from the shoulder, I get all these comments. You should reload from where you're from. You know, you can shoot a bolt action like this, boom, and then work the bolt like this. This is true. I don't know why I take the rifle off my shoulder, but that's just the way I shoot. And, you know, free country. Anyway, we'll reload and shoot some more. So I guess I should pay a little more attention to the sight. These good people send me these things. This definitely is what I was after. I wanted an instinctive sight. I don't know if you hunt coastal black-tailed deer, but you hardly, it's like hunting ghosts. It's not easy, and you don't get very long for a shot. So the 350 Legend Scout rifle, I knew that would be ideal, but I didn't have, there's no time to, you know, crosshairs, aim, and all this stuff. So this aim win, in fairness to this good company, so, oh yeah, so I shot at a paper target just to get on, you know, point of impact. Everything was easy. It's very easy to adjust. I don't know how the solar panels work. I'm assuming that they're recharging the batteries, but here in the Pacific Northwest, we hardly get any sun, so I don't know where we're going to recharge, but maybe in summer we can recharge. In the meantime, there's all kinds of technology here to preserve the batteries, which one can read about. And why did I put on the enclosed? I just like the looks of the enclosed better. See, that to me looks good. And maybe this would look good too. This is the second one. I'll turn it around. You can see that it has just a slightly different style to it. A lot of people are, you know, motivated by style. I guess I am to some extent. And everything else is the same. But, oh, it says Aimwin Innovations, Inc. in Bellevue, Washington. So, yeah, we'll put a link to them, of course. It says first-class site. We've been shooting. I planned on shooting like 20 rounds, and we're at 60. I'll shoot some more in a moment. But thank you very much, Aimwin, for this excellent site. And also, I have to thank Reliable Gun. Without them, most of this couldn't happen, or not as easily. They supply the ammunition, and this is what I'm shooting. People always ask, so it's 350 Legend and full metal jacket. Everything else I think we've talked about. So what I'll do is I showed you the 351 self-loading already, and I should have brought that rifle. It's just so similar to the Legend. This cartridge was successful and then kind of disappeared. The Legend, I think, probably will have some pretty good legs. So yeah, we'll take a shot at those. I don't know which one. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll shoot at the far one, and then see how it goes. But sometimes I miss, sometimes I hit. Anyhow, here we go. So that's, I mean, it's a mixed success every time you come up here. Conditions aren't ideal, my shooting's not ideal, but the equipment is fine. The Scout rifle performs as it should. The ammo is great. This full metal jacket stuff, so I'll probably need some soft point ammo, and definitely this aim-win sight is just about perfect. I can't think of a better instinctive sight. Of course, there are a lot of them on the market. This one just happened to be the one that I decided to test, and I think it's a good combination of quality, price, performance, and so on. And I think that, you know, if you said go hunting tomorrow, especially in the woods, I would take this rifle. All right, take care till next time.